Welcome back to another episode of AK-47 Radio, powered by Sweet Potato Vodka and Broken Dreams. As usual, we have Comrade Commissar Will. How you doing, sir?
I would be better if I knew what sweet potato vodka tasted like, because that sounds delicious.
It sounds nasty.
Well, I was stationed. I wasn't stationed there. I was TDY to Alaska for 2 months.
You were titty to Alaska?
TDY.
Every time I hear TDY, I just think titty.
Yes, I was titty to Alaska, and the it's funny. It stands for temporary duty, so it literally is titty. But anyway, I was TDY there, and motherfucker, you distracted me, and I forgot why.
The guys.
Anyway.
Oh yeah, the vodka. So there was this company called Alaskan Brewing Company, or Alaskan Distillery. That's right, Alaskan Distillery, and they made vodka. They made vodka in all sorts of various flavors, and kind of like Smirnoff makes the various flavors to make Smirnoff not taste like Smirnoff.
Gross.
Well, Alaskan Distillery was actually pretty decent stuff, kind of on par with Breckenridge vodka, but
Gross.
they had dozens of flavors, and one of those flavors was smoked salmon. And I was like, oh, that could be good. So I bought some smoked salmon vodka, and I got some capers and some lemons, thinking this is going to be fucking awesome. It was so not.
Yeah, this is Jeff Goldblum. You spent so much time figuring out if you could. You didn't stop to think if you should.
I had bacon flavored soda once, and it tasted like vomit.
Oh, gross. And then I'm also Jeff Goldblum later as I'm chugging it down, going, shit.
You mean you took 2 sips? You're just like, I'm done, man.
Dude, I took a slug, and I was like,
oh,
why did I do this?
it's nasty.
I had a friend I told all about it, and she was like, how's the smoked salmon vodka? And I'm like, shut up.
It tastes like cougar smells.
You know what? You might ask yourself, which kind of cougar? You know what? Use your imagination. Pick one. Maybe then the other. Combine them. I don't know.
Anyway, I'm not going to bother with the rest.
Dr. Scary Guy came up with a new slur, and I love it.
Count Rigger?
Contrigger.
Contrigger. Oh, okay. I read that as Count Rigger. I'm thinking, I don't get it.
This is why every podcast should have at least one Southerner.
Oh, that's fair. Being crowns counts. I mean, it's all the same. What the hell are you wearing on your head? For those,
why the hell are you wearing on your head?
No. The question's not why. The obvious, the why is obvious. I should be wearing mine right now, but it's a long story.
The what I am wearing is a multicam patterned Burger King inspired crown from Moonlight Industries. And the reason is because, one, the patch fits perfectly on the field of Velcro in front of it. 2, I thought it would be funny. And 3 other reasons.
If you were paying attention to Moonlight Industries 4th of July sale. Yeah.
Is it made of cardboard or other things more durable?
No, it's made of like...
It's laser cut Cordura, basically.
Yeah.
And
like it's the same shit that like plate carriers are made out of with, laser cut Molly and shit.
My only regret is that I didn't see the drop down menu to get the crown in M81 Woodland.
Fucking actually the same.
Because I just went, oh, sweet, look, the crown, add to cart. I didn't realize that that's Vietnam Tiger Stripe, Desert Tiger Stripe, Ranger Green, Coyote, and Multicam Black. Ew.
What pisses me off is that we both made the same mistake. We didn't see the drop down, and we just said add to cart buy. So we ended up with the same camo pattern. But even if we had seen the drop down, the chances of us still having ended up with the same camo pattern are like 95%. So anyway, Mike,
hi.
You're here too. You didn't get introduced. You just started talking.
I gave up on the introductions as soon as we started going down the road of
fuck it. What that we're doing this. That's what happened.
Fuck it. We'll do it live.
The tismed. It is what it is.
Duh.
Hello.
Speaking of large tisms, I have a large tism to talk about tonight, and
I'd say it's average.
Oh no,
no matter how big she tells you it is, it's probably just
it's a grower, not a shower.
Please don't show it.
Ooh. But we may talk.
I changed my mind. Show it.
I'm not going to talk about it in depth because I may need to run upstairs to take care of an infant child matter here in a minute. But all I'm going to say for now is I went to the old gun store today, and Colorado sucks because I should have had this in my possession on Friday. But
the gay is strong in this one.
I hope that
as a Stava Arms M70 AB2 built by Zastava Arms in
Serbia,
Des Plaines, Illinois. Not Serbia. I'll get there. All I can say is I opened the box in this rifle at the gun store, and pure joy. It is everything it could possibly and should be. Now I have to bail for a second.
That's fine. We can talk. New Gun Day is always a good day.
We love New Gun Day.
New Gun Day is my favorite holiday aside from Independence Day and Christmas.
I haven't had New Gun Day in a while.
Yeah, same.
By a while, I mean a couple of months.
Same. My last New Gun Day. Go ahead.
I was going to say my last New Gun Day, I think, was the Glock 17 because I got that shortly after the High Point.
Wasn't it the Henry?
You're right. It was the Henry. The Henry was New Gun Day. The Henry's awesome. How can I the Henry? I have no idea how to use the Henry, but the Henry's awesome.
Well, my last New Gun Day is a perfect segue, comrade, into something that I wanted to talk about last week, but we had more important things to talk about. So my last New Gun Day was PS90, but it has more barrel. So some would say it's too long. It's too much.
Stargate LARP win.
Yes.
Stargate LARP win.
Once the gun is complete, and also I have a trip coming up and some other things going on that we talk about, so we know.
Gun complete when?
Gun complete once I can buy the red dot, the light, and the laser that I can't even use because I don't have nods. But that's another conversation. God damn it. Let me move on.
That's not the topic.
So this 10.4 inch barrel for P90. That is the short barrel.
It looks like a gas tube.
Yeah, because I mean it's a small diameter caliber with not a lot of ass behind it, so it doesn't need to be super thick. But that will make this fucking behemoth more like that long for the viewers.
It'll be more like GoldenEye P90.
It'll be more like GoldenEye or Stargate P90.
Stargate LARP win.
Yes. Yes.
Now.
But I intentionally bought, so the front of the barrel is actually a left hand twist, like 13x1 or 14x1 thread. It's super weird, but the front essentially barrel bushing is actually a part of the system for the way the gun works. So you have to have something on the end of it, and you can either get like a mock up of the old school P90 machine gun flash hider that's kind of like slant cut at the front, or CMMG also makes a 1/2x28 thread adapter, and I bought that so that I can throw can on gun.
Very nice. What kind of can?
I'm looking at one that when I initially started looking at it, it said it was marketed towards the 5.7 caliber. And it's full auto rated. It's, all the things. It's lightweight, blah, 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 blah. But then I guess they changed the name or they changed the marketing or something. So now it's a 22 can that's rated for 5.7, which most 22 cans are anyway. So I don't remember the manufacturer. But yeah. Again, for those watching, I guess we're getting into the how did you advance the party's interests this week right now to take time because Sam is gone. For those watching, you see that I has Crown. I bought Crown for reasons that were discussed earlier. Again, if you've been paying to Moonlight Industries on Instagram recently, or if you've signed up for their email, you will understand why, and I will leave it at that.
Do you has Crown Royal?
I do not actually has Crown Royal.
What good are you?
I have a much better whiskey, actually.
I don't even like Crown Royal. I just wanted to make the joke.
Oh.
I think they come in a velvet bag to disguise their disgustingness.
Those velvet bags are my favorite, like ammo bags.
Yeah, they're really cool for that.
Yeah, when I go to the range, I'll just take a bunch of Crown, because back when Mrs. Country or Mrs. Commissar drank, her favorite whiskey was Crown Royal. So I just stole all the bags. And now when I go to the range, this bag has 22, this bag has 9 mil, this bag has 5.56, blah, blah, blah. And I just throw them in the range bag and I can keep all my ammo separate that way. Super good for that. And you also get alcohol as a byproduct. So, win-win.
Yay, alcohol. My favorite.
Duh. Is good. Something else that I've been waiting on. So we had a conversation. I should bring this up. We had a conversation via our Signal group about when you're tracking on, you order something. Let's say it's UPS, it's USPS, whatever. When the tracking starts to look fucky, like something hasn't moved in 3 days, but for example, this was supposed to be delivered today, but tracking is showing that it's in Arizona. What the fuck? Even if you call after hours and you just leave because they have their AI robot assistant, fucking clankers. If you just put your tracking number in and be like, what's up with my package? Guarantee that shit pops up the next day. I had one that hadn't moved in 3 or 4 days. They even took the estimated delivery date off and it just hadn't moved. I called. It was in the local large hub close to me. And then the next day, it was all of a sudden in Washington State, which is nowhere near me. And I've never been to Washington State.
Are you sure?
But yeah, so little tip. If your tracking ever starts to look fucky, call, because they will find that shit and it will just magically show up and be back on its way to you.
I have a problem currently with American Reloading, and it's not a problem yet. If anybody's ever actually used American Reloading for reloading supplies, they're absolutely the cheapest on the market. They pull bullets from, I don't know where they pull them from, but then they sell them, and I pick them up. Whatever the 9 mil rounds that they have, I buy them for 6 cents a round. So when they basically have sales that they have 1,000 bullets on 115 grain pulled bullets for $90, and then they always have sales 35% off Projos, 40% off Projos. The recent one was Scoozy, 55%. So yeah, I bought 3,000 rounds at 6 cents a round. I also got 5,000 primers because they had a specific brand of primers that's $35 per 1,000, and that's a pretty good deal. So I wanted to try those. Well, landing the plane, the primers never showed up. They threw in 60 rounds.
Can't go 1 episode without mentioning planes.
Airplane, Ikranoplan. Did you get the Econoplon?
I did.
Yeah. Okay, just making sure. Anyway, yeah. So I Chronoploned out. Yay!
So you ordered primers.
Thank you. I ordered primers. They threw in 60 rounds of 5.56 and the 3,000 rounds of 9mm Projos showed up, 1,000 rounds at a time, one box of 1,000 pills, and they're these little tiny boxes that you wouldn't think weigh that much, but then you go to pick them up and you're like, what the hell? That's my wife's expression every time she goes to pick them up, and she's since learned, hey, one of those heavy boxes is outside for you.
Smart woman.
American Reloading, when I order Projos for them, it routinely takes sometimes a week, sometimes more. I ordered the primers about 3 weeks ago, I'd say, and they still haven't showed up. And I know things take some time, but I was like, you know what? I'm starting to wonder. So the problem I'm having is that when you look at the tracking number they gave me, you go to UPS's website, and each of the packages you can see has a different individual package, but they all have the same tracking number. And when you go to click on, like, here's the Projo picture that he took. Well, it's actually a picture of the 5.56 rounds that he left on my gate. And that picture is for everything. So I'm like, well, where's the picture of my primers being delivered? That's pretty not neato.
Yeah.
So I emailed them and I was like, yeah.
You would think that, like Amazon, for example, yes, they'll take the one picture of 5 different packages, but each package has its own tracking number. You would think UPS would also have individual tracking numbers per box.
Yeah, you would think.
That's gay.
Especially when they keep showing up individually. Like, that's strange. You know?
And yeah, and if you called them and gave them that tracking number, they'd probably be like, "Oh, it's been delivered." Well, yeah, but not all of it.
Right. The email I sent was much the same. Like, hey, I love you guys. I use you all the time. I know sometimes things show up separately. Is what it is. However, still haven't gotten the primers, and I'm starting to get concerned. And I have been so goddamn busy today. I haven't even checked my email to see if they've replied.
Yeah. I'm still debating on something similar for a customer service-ish issue, and we'll leave it at that for now. Something else I did get, though, again, last 2 packages that I've had go through USPS got delayed. Or not delayed, just never updated until I called. The first one was this other product. The second one was this crown that came in the mail today. But the first one that came in was an antenna. And it doesn't look like an antenna, but it is an antenna. So what it is, basically, it looks like a rattlesnake, honestly. But it's an antenna wrapped in, this one's a little different. I've got one of these that I have on my chest rig, but it's essentially a 550 cord-ish material that you put the antenna inside of, but it's tuned for the frequencies that you want. You can get different adapters and things. You can get a vertical one or this 90-degree one like I have. And the idea is that because it's essentially 550 cord in terms of how it works and twists and bends and folds and things, you can just route this through MOLLE or straps or whatever else. I mean, your imagination is your limit. And then you can have an antenna on gear that's not in the way. It's not poking you in the face constantly or getting in the way of your draw stroke or whatever else. But you still have a pretty damn good antenna. It's not the best, but for my applications, this is what I want for if I have a radio on my body and I'm carrying it. It's like GMRS, for example. I have a GMRS license. This would be great for that.
For the two people that download this show, he's basically holding up a little cord.
Yeah,
he described it, but it's a little cord. It's cool. Radio cord.
Yeah.
Instead of paracord, it's radio cord.
It's 550 cord that can transmit and receive radiations. Because for those that don't know, you spent time thinking about that joke. I saw it in your eyes.
Be glad I'm thinking it all tonight.
I don't know if I'm glad or sad that you think ever. But yeah, for those that don't know, radio transmissions, cell towers, Wi-Fi, literally the universe, everything boils down to radiation. What you see through night vision, what you see through thermal, what you see with your own Mark I eyeball, all radiation. It's all radiation. So when people talk to you about how radiation is dangerous, you got to be more specific, because some of it is, and some of it is you live with this shit every fucking day.
The poison is in the dose.
The files are in the computer, comrade.
Sometimes the poison is in how fast the ion moves, but or whatever it is.
No,
like the
it's
wave.
not about how fast it moves. It's about how much of it you get.
Yes.
Not ion. Yes.
And frequency matters, and wavelength, and all those things.
Meanwhile, this is why it is totally insane and gay that in places like Fukushima, they've taken up a policy, at least last I knew, this is a little bit old outdated info, of there must be zero radiation, which ignores the fact of how much was already there in the first place.
Okay, GCRs, galactic cosmic rays. If you grab a spectrum analyzer and hook an antenna to it and just point it somewhere, you could be in the middle of fucking nowhere, no cell phone, no Wi-Fi, nothing around. Even if you were to ignore the satellite signals coming down from satellites in orbit onto you, the galaxy is constantly emitting radiation, which is where we get the term noise floor from, kids.
It wants to kill you.
You cannot escape radiation in your life. It's not fucking possible. People get so worked up about this shit.
My eyes hurt from the radiation right now.
That's just because of my beautiful face.
That's from looking at gay dudes on the internet.
Well, that would be the sunlight, but okay, that's all things that are not factual. But thanks for making it sound like I enjoy the company of men.
Well, what the fuck are you doing here?
He said you're not. He said you're a woman. That's what he was getting at.
So. No, that's not what I was getting at. Anyway, I had to run upstairs to deal with screaming children because my house is falling apart around my ears. We talking about antennas and radios right now?
I was talking about my antenna. I talked about my P90 barrel. I talked about the crown, but we can move on.
No, I like radios.
I mean,
radios are too often overlooked, and quite frankly, I think the old just get a UV5R is fine, but too many people treat that as the end game.
Yeah, I think there's a limit. Like there are, sorry, I had to find the grooves. The antenna is also QD to make it easier to take it out of kit, because it comes with this SMA to B and C adapter, which is cool. I think that there are some radios that, like, some people look for all the capability in one thing, and I used to be the same way. I was that guy. And then once I started doing research and then I learned about things, I realized you're never going to get everything in one, and you have to pick and choose. So you can either get distance, you can get certain frequencies, you can get lower signature to make it harder to find you or to hear your signals. You can get encryption. You can get a lot of different things, but you have to pick the radio and the antenna and the system that you want for all that. And some of it may have to be hard mounted into a vehicle. It may have to be thrown into a backpack. It may have to be hard mounted into your house. It may be something you can throw in your back pocket and walk around with. There's pros and cons to everything. That's why we don't snipe with 9mm pistols. And that's why we don't do self-defense with fucking 300 Win Mag rifles.
That's why, as fun as PCCs are, we don't actually use them in combat.
Fucking
unless MP5.
I was gonna say
Nemo has that 8.5-inch barrel 300 Win Mag. I'll defend my home with that.
The fireball alone.
My windows are gonna be broken.
Sam's house is gonna look like one of those that explodes from the leaking gas inside, and it just goes.
Yeah.
And you'll be standing there, the intruders, there's nothing left, and Sam's standing there with his eyebrows singed and his hair all black with his 8-inch 300 blackout going, got him.
Win Mag.
Oh, he said 300 Win Mag.
My bad. Win Mag. I said the wrong caliber, but I had the right idea.
It's the Looney Tunes. It's like Looney Tunes. Like
yes, exactly.
The roof is gonna pop off the house.
It's when the cigar blows up in Daffy Duck's bill. Yeah.
Yeah, the Omen Nightmare. Though they spelled night NITE, and I hate that.
Why? It's hipster.
I hate it when companies don't,
because they can't charge $4,000 for it if they spell it correctly.
$4,000, sir. The MSRP is $4,900.
Jesus fucking Christ!
I do wish that the Nemo we have at home had just patterned off their mags though, instead of trying their own.
That's a car. That's a car that you could have for 15 years. I mean, yeah, it's a gun you could have forever, but that's a car.
It's night vision you could have for longer, which is cooler than
You're
both.
Right. Yeah, nods are... Fuck yeah, dude.
Noodles.
I'd rather have nods. Give me some noodles.
Duh.
All right,
well, Sam.
Now that I've returned.
You were just playing with something. What were you playing with? And if it's inside your pants, then I don't want to know about it.
So on the 4th of July at 2:15 a.m., I was doing something. Sitting around at a hospital.
Liberty!
Sitting around at a hospital waiting for an event to happen, and scrolling social media as one will, because I'm trying to keep myself awake. And Zastava Arms was like, we have a 4th of July sale. I don't remember what it was, like 10% off. Oh, sweet. I wonder how much one of their AKs are. I was like, I don't think they have any M70s in stock. We'll just go see. Oh, they did, or not M70s, M77s in stock, but I'll go see. Well, they didn't have any M77s. But they did have what they're calling their Serb pack. Hang on, I should have pulled this up. And the Serb pack, which was so tempting, is
I wanted that.
Is an M70 AB2, which for those who don't know all their terminology, the M70 AB2 is the underfolder of the Yugo AK, like the main pattern, and a Yugoslavian patterned police refurbed Tokarev with a holster and a spare mag, like the works. And it's $1,400 for the whole package, which, you know, the days of $400 AKs are long gone. We've had to let go of that. But the whole combination is like, that's actually, if you're going to go out and buy each of those individually, you're making out a couple $100 a head right here.
And the holsters themselves are so fucking hard to find. Ask me how I know. I bought one, and it was a Makarov holster when it got here.
And the thing that, yeah, no shit. I forgot that was a Makarov holster. Anyway, the thing that really got me, though, is that the rifles that they're selling in the Serb pack are made from surplus kits. And so I did a little digging into it. And yeah, Zastava is importing, they're demilling rifles in Serbia and then importing them here and then rebuilding them in Illinois. So technically it's a US made AK, but it's not new production. So their ZPAP line of rifles, and same with the M77s and the M72s, are all new production, which is totally fine. but I know anybody listening out there has been in AKs for a while, and it varies from person to person, but sometimes just that's the appeal of parts kits back in the day is you're holding basically the real damn rifle, like made in a military factory as a military arm. And so that was just like, oh damn, I really want that. Turns out the 4th of July code didn't work on it, so that was a bit of a bummer, but it's all right. And then I went scrolling through and saw that they sell just the M70AB2 by itself. And so at 2:15 in the morning, I may have bought one. And then it showed up. I did background check, had to wait for it to clear, and here it is. And all I have to say is this rifle is fucking perfect. I haven't shot it, so for all I just picked it up today. So for all I know, it's gonna jam, and I'm gonna be fucking pissed off and bitching about it in a week or so. But it's fucking perfect.
It's got the grenade launcher / gas cutoff,
and it doesn't have that's.
Oh no! Flip that boy! That boy!
I'll flip the boy.
Yeah. Oh, sexy.
But that's the benefit of making it here instead of importing it. They didn't have to neuter the gas block. It has an intact bayonet lug. It is 922R compliant, but via the Magpul mag that it comes with.
Well, also,
receiver. Everything else is fucking. The only thing that is not clone correct on this gun is it's not full auto, and they did use a chrome lined bore, a little chrome lined barrel on it. The M70s did not, up until the 2000s, the Yugoslavian / Serbians were not chrome lining their bores.
That's what I was going to say. Because it's a U.S. receiver, that means it's a U.S. firearm, and 922 does not apply.
Oh, true. Whatever. The other thing they did, which is just fucking perfect, because it carries all the original markings on it. This is a 1993 parts kit. It says right on there, 1993 M70AB2. The serial numbers all match between bolt, dust cover, front trunnion. I might be missing. Oh, there's also one on the bolt carrier group, I believe, or on the bolt itself, I believe. But they put all of their markings inside the trigger guard, out of the way, so you're not like on my OPAP behind me. Hang on. I love this gun. It's basically an M70B1 minus the fact that it doesn't have the grenade launcher sight, but it says safe and fire and Century Arms, Georgia, Vermont. I thought Century Arms was in fucking Florida. Whatever.
They've probably moved like 8 billion times.
The point being, and it says read owner's manual before use back here, which is really gay. But somebody at fucking Zastava did their homework, in my opinion, because burying all the markings in nondescript places, bringing in a rifle that is built off of a military parts kit. Oh, this is not like mainline AK. Oh, I'm going to go buy me an AK and you buy a ZPAP, because that's like, the easiest barrier to entry. This thing, though, is just, I'm in love with it. I popped open the box.
Sexy.
I popped open the box. I was hit in the face with the smell of Cosmoline.
I hate that grip, but the rest of it is sexy.
It's not a
standard
AK.
City of Georgia, Vermont.
It's so the Yugos don't use a standard AK grip.
No, I know, and I just hate that Yugo grip.
Oh, I like it.
Yugo girl.
Supposedly, it's modeled off of I forget which model of CZ pistol it's based off of, but apparently one of the SIG guns, I think, a
P210.
That might be the P210. I think they modeled the pistol grip off the P210. Come to think of it.
How's the lockup on the folding stock? Because I've seen some. I've seen some, mostly the ones that have the slight drop, because that's another difference between the Yugos and like the more Russian patterned ones, is the stock locks up in line with the barrel instead of slightly canted downward.
Yeah, that's a feature on the Yugo patterns overall. Their stock shape on their fixed stocks are also differently proportioned. They have a little bit of drop down, but they're beefier. They have a little bit longer length of pull as well, and more of a cheek rest on them, which used to pop people in the cheek, and they used to bitch about that. But
I just got breaking news. Sorry, I just got this note from the editors. Apparently, somebody from the audience wanted to share the Kalash Trigger 3-position FRT, and I think the idea is that now, since I bought a P90 and may or may not have bought something else to go with it, you are supposed to buy this for a new gun. And I don't disagree.
I might. If I were to get a 3-position FRT, which I will not be buying until after I leave Colorado, just because I don't want to deal with the bullshit, I'd have to buy 2, because frankly, I think this gun deserves one, and then I want one in my in one of my PSA guns, probably the crate, just to fucking.
I think everything that's 223, 556, 762 by 39, and 545 deserves one for sure.
Yeah, I won't argue with that.
It looks very. I'm just thinking to myself, wouldn't it be nice if I had FRT in one of my AKM? Yeah, there we go.
You're gonna get shot.
In one of my Wasser tanks.
Prepare to be war crimed.
Oh no, not
the sad part is, I'll say it, and if you want to slap me because I said this, that parts kit could potentially have war crime juice on it.
I mean, Yugoslav wars kick off in 1991 off the top of my head. I've been doing a lot of research on it because I want to do a whole episode on it. Because every time I think, man, this country's going down the drain. Oh no, you spend 5 minutes looking at Yugoslavia post Tito's death, and it's like, oh, never mind, we're doing okay.
Yeah, but the sad part is, because of U.S. laws, they had to put a different barrel in it, because the machine gun barrel from a stock AK can't be used because it's a machine gun barrel. So they have to use a newly manufactured barrel. So you can't have the corrosion marks on yours like the Makarov has, which is sad.
Oh, I've got corrosion marks on it. Only so in the world of ARs, if you see rust on your gun, it's like, oh fuck. I popped the box open on this and saw it's just the tiniest little bit, just the fewest little dots of surface rust. You can probably see them there in the light, on the dust cover. And there's just a teeny little bit back here on the stock. And I was fucking happy to see it, just because it's like, oh, it's a real parts kit.
That's either
go ahead.
That's either brain matter or bored soldier cum. Oh, there's no in between.
Let me lick it.
Porque no los dos.
Valid.
Not everyone's gonna get this. It's totally a nerd fucking autistic bullshit thing. There's definitely something about picking up this rifle compared to either of my PSAs. That's just, this has so much more character to it.
Yep. Yeah.
This gun will not be, I mean, it will get a sling on it, obviously. I need to look into it. AK Master Mount does make, I believe it replaces 2 of the pins down here. They do 2 of the trigger pins. I'd have to look into, because they've got a few of them and it's all pattern dependent. They do make a side rail that will clear the underfolder, and you have to get Zastava sells them on their website. I'll get to you in a moment, GatLab. And then they have it's a shorter mount, but basically you can throw a red dot on a side rail that'll clear the underfolder without permanent modifications of the gun. So it might get one down the road for shits and giggles, but that's probably cool. Not. At this point, this gun being as it is just fucking...
was like the first thing I looked at in the picture you sent in our signal chat was, does it have a side rail? Because if it had a side rail, I wanted to know how that worked with the side folder.
Again,
the under
AK
folder.
Master Mount makes one that I believe replaces trigger pins. The rail itself sits here, so it clears this space. And
I heard you. I just was looking to see if the rifle had from the factory a side rail.
GatLab asked what caliber is my PSA. I have 2 PSAs, both in 5.56. Some people
22.
Yeah, 22. It's rimfire. Some people will go like, "Oh God, no, AK's like, motherfucker." If you've ever shot an AK in 5.56, this might be just my opinion, but they shoot as smooth and as flat as a well-tuned AR without any of the bullshit of swapping parts back and forth to tune an AR. It's fantastic.
I actually kind of agree, which is why they went from the 47 to the 74.
In part. I mean, granted, the muzzle brake does help, but even so, you're dealing with a rifle that has more mass to it. So that freaking 22 caliber or 5.4 or 5 caliber bullet just is nothing, man.
And it's also impressive because it's a long stroke gas piston. So you've got more reciprocating mass than you do in an AR-15 BCG. And you're taming that recoil by just a caliber swap.
GatLab, yeah. So I have a PSA 101 and then the PSA Crink. I still don't like that name, but yeah. So I have both of those. The 101 sitting just north of 1,500 rounds with no issues so far, which is not a lot. The Crink probably has 500-ish rounds on it. I should have been keeping count of that. Oh, well. Anyway, nope. I got this rifle and I am fucking tickled pink about it.
Yeah, you're exactly the kind of TISM that needs to have a spreadsheet to know how many rounds you fired.
Lots of bullets.
Yep. I know the exact, well, I shouldn't say that. I have tried to do an exact number of rounds through a gun one time for a review on CBG, and that was my P365, the standard model, 10 round flush fit mag kind of thing. And the only way I was able to keep track, and I had fired rounds through it before, the only way I was able to keep track of that test was to just go buy a 1,000-round case and say, this is only 365 ammo, and go out and shoot it till the case was empty. That's it.
I've been doing the round counts in the 101 by buying 300 rounds at a time. It works. It's like I know what this, or if I wanted to shoot more than that, which I haven't shot more than 300 rounds in that gun in a day, I'd set the ammo aside specifically in one ammo can.
I mean, I've tried having a note taker, like, notes on your phone. Oh, I fired this many magazines that were this much capacity. I'll do the math when I get back home. It doesn't work, at least for me.
That's part of why I box my ammo. In fact, that's a big part of why I box my ammo, so that I can take, so I can keep track of how many rounds are through each of my high use weapons. I have a spreadsheet I built specifically for this purpose, and it auto tallies. It has my. Let me share the screen actually. Because I have it open right now because I forgot that I went to the range last week and shot 200 rounds. So
you've got that kind of TISM though. Like, you've got the TISM to be like, okay, I'm going to come home and I'm going to count empty ammo boxes, plastic reusable boxes, or even cardboard with sleeves. And I'm going to count empty numbers of holes in partial boxes. And I know what gun that went with, and you've got that kind of TISM because you're also a reloader TISMer.
Yeah, I don't. It's part empty boxes. I also, Like I know I brought 4 full boxes, or I'll know that I brought 1 or 3 full boxes, and oh crap, this one had 37 in it. All right, so I had 197 or 187 rounds. All right, cool. Well, now I have 72 rounds. How many did I shoot? 115. All right, cool. So then I don't know if you can approve screen share or not, but
yes,
whenever like if you look on, this is the PCC one. As you can see, I've been shooting it quite a bit this year. Unfortunately, like the last several, like basically back to 2022, I've been trying to keep track, but it seems like it hasn't been updating because it still says 22, 23. Although during the last 4 years, I really didn't start shooting until the last like 6, 7, 8. Wait, it's July. So the last 8 or 9 months, I'd say, I've been getting back into it. Regardless, this thing is having the spreadsheet and having the TISM for this is cool because one, I now know that my PCC has about 6,400 rounds on it. That's important to know if it starts getting inaccurate or something, or might be time to swap the barrel or whatever. The cool thing about this is I started doing this because I was like, how much am I actually shooting? This doesn't cover a lot of what I shot until I started actually keeping track. This doesn't cover anything past beyond 2018 because I didn't keep track back then. It doesn't take into account the about 10,000 rounds I shot out of my Glock 22 before I started keeping track of it on this thing.
Cody is gay. As a section of our Discord is specifically titled, 40 is gay.
That's why I was trying so hard to change it to 9mm. Anyway,
how'd that turn out for you?
So here's what I discovered. The amount that I was shooting just since 2018, and this isn't really a lot by some people's standards. However, by a lot of people's standards, it is a lot. Since 2018, I have 42,691 rounds fired that are tracked.
The fact that you know that is mind-boggling.
But it's right here.
Yeah, but bro, by the time I get back from the range,
all add up automatically in Excel, and I set all the other columns to add up as they go out. So all I have to do is plug in the number at the end, and it all updates automatically. So
I don't like how much of my wife. I don't
put
like
100
how
more
much
in.
like my wife you are. So
I don't know what to.
Okay,
I don't know how to respond to that.
Can we skip to something real quick?
Yeah, I
have a really weird anecdote for GatLab here.
Okay.
So Dusky asked because this is peculiar to the Yugoslavian pattern of rifles, that they love their rifle grenades. So they built into the into the gas block. There's not a front gas block, just the gas block. A combination gas cutoff. Yeah, combination gas cutoff and grenade sight. And it's who I bought my Makarov, not my Makarov, my Bakelite grip that I put on the Krink, Mokus Reifu online. They make chalk grenades because there used to be you could buy the surplus chalk grenades for these pretty cheap. They 3D print them with a reusable steel core, so you just buy the extra tips but whatever. So I need to get some of those because I want to rifle grenade the fuck out of this thing. But
you would also need the spigot.
I didn't get the spigot. So spigots.
What did you call me?
Yeah,
I called you a spigot.
So there's a YouTube. So GatLab asked, does it work as well with subsonic ammo as he's imagining, plus and suppressed? There's a YouTube channel and it's run by a Ukrainian guy. I think it's Valgear. Valgear. VAL Gear. He has all kinds of videos. Just, I'm guessing it's connected to his time in the Ukrainian military, where he just I'm gonna go blow up a grenade today. Spigger.
We're all spiggers here.
Okay.
But yes, I think he talks about how I don't know if it's an attempted, I don't remember the details. Go look at the video. He talks about some units they'd cut the excess of the grenade side off and then use it as a gas cutoff while shooting one round suppressed to be as quiet as possible. Because it would work. It is a true gas cutoff. You flip the thing up, because with the rifle grenades, you're meant to replace your muzzle brake with a spigot.
Before we keep going,
Spagot.
So for those that don't know, that haven't watched movies and learned things, a rifle grenade there are various forms, but the most basic form is just a literal hand grenade that is attached to something that you can put on the end of your rifle barrel, use a blank. And actually, I think the Brits figured out a way to do it with live rounds, so they didn't have to change out to blanks, which is based.
That sounds correct.
Yeah. And then you fire it. So you get a grenade going off. It's basically a personally portable mortar. So instead of throwing the grenade, you shoot the grenade.
The most primitive ones I've seen are actual just cups that you pull the pin on a grenade, you put it down inside the cup. There's a spring essentially that holds the spoon, and then as it flies out the end, the spoon flies off and the grenade goes boom in 4 seconds.
Yeah.
The Yugoslavs, go ahead.
It's the M203, but World War II and previous version.
Mm-hmm. And then the Yugoslavians, when they were going, so post World War II, I think I talked about this a while ago, but they went through World War II and essentially, with the aid of the Red Army and with the aid of the Western Allies, liberated their own country from the Nazis and their Croat allies and so on and so forth.
God damn it, Dusky.
That was GatLab.
No, Dusky also said one.
Skyline spigot.
Oh.
GatLab says better than a spagot.
Yeah, better than spagot. They went, so the Yugo pattern SKSs all have that spigot is built into the rifle. Same with the grenade launcher sight and gas cutoff. That transferred over to the M70 pattern of rifles with the gas cutoff and the grenade sight built in to the gas block. Because having went through all that whole partisan experience and Yugoslavia being neutrally aligned, even though they were a communist country, in 1948, Joseph Broz Tito decided that he did not want to follow Stalin's rules. He wanted to be a little dictator in his own right, and quite frankly, as far as dictators in the 20th century goes, he's not the worst. It could definitely
be a low bar.
That is a low bar, but hey, it could be. For a communist country, Yugoslavia was far more progressive than the Soviet Union. Like, at least you had it's socialist communist, but at least you have freedom to travel compared to the USSR, where like, no, you don't get to travel unless we give you permission. Anyway, they leaned heavily into rifle grenades because they wanted every rifleman to have some kind of anti-armor or indirect fire capability, because if they were to be invaded by the Soviets or by NATO, they're going to go right back to being partisans again. And so what better way to be a partisan than at least every rifle has some ability to be a threat to armor. And even if it's not a huge threat, it's some threat.
If I remember right, Finland was also very focused on rifle grenades for the longest time as well, for similar reasons.
Yep.
Raggle Fraggle says, so they're still timed. I'm assuming he's talking about the grenades going off. It's gonna depend on the type of rifle grenade. Some of the ones that, again, I've seen pictures and stuff of, it's just a hand grenade with a spoon. And once that spoon comes off, it's got a timed fuse, but some of them were impact.
Yep. Some of them are impact. The perfect example of that more basic design, hang on, share screen, is the M7 from World War II, the M1 Garand. That is just a freaking cup with a pineapple grenade shoved in the end, and you pull the trigger, the grenade flies off, spoon goes out, and I believe the fuse on those is about 4 seconds, and in 4 seconds it goes boom.
Yeah, I think it's somewhere between 3 and 5.
Okay. Very accurate. But you know what? If you need to get a grenade,
1, 2,
but if you need to get a grenade through that window over there, that's a hell of a lot faster and safer way to do it than lucking it by hand.
Yep.
This is exactly how archery was invented. I want to stab that guy, but he's way over there.
Yep.
This is I want to grenade that guy, but he's way over there.
Dusky says his favorite round to shoot is 22 Spigot. That's like Atomic Annie, where as soon as you fire the round, you better be hauling ass the other way.
Run.
And if you don't know what Atomic Annie is, Google is your friend, except that they hate you.
Let me Google that for you. And then but there's more rifle grenades you can shake a stick at. But yeah, you see have that cup that literally just hucks a grenade for you. And then others are essentially warheads that are launched off the rifle via a blank and go boom.
Duh.
Okay, good. For a moment, I thought I froze up.
I like it.
The cup doesn't go with it on that, like that M7 style. It just pops the grenade out the end using a blank, using the gas pressure from a blank, and that's it.
Yeah, but some of them, the whole assembly that's on while you're Googling, Sam, some of those versions, the entire assembly you pull out of your musette bag or whatever, and you put on the end of the spigot, the entire assembly goes. So you can't just like take a hand grenade, put it on the thing, strap it up, pull the pin, and then shoot it again. Yeah. You have to pull another assembly out, put it on the spigot, and shoot it.
Yeah. This is a blurry picture. Well, sticking with M1 Grand because it was the fastest picture I could find. Yeah, that right there is basically, it's not a rocket because it's not rocket propelled, but there's a spigot underneath it, and the whole rifle grenade's gonna leave off the spigot and go. Pew!
Yep.
And you can shoot through the spigot, at least most of them.
Yeah.
Like the Yugoslav spigot, if you're loading up a blank and you go bang, cool, that was fun, and then you need to shoot at something else, well, you just drop the sight down, load in your normal mag, and off you go to town.
Yeah, as long as there's not something on the spigot. You don't want to, for the most part, again, the Brits figured something out. For the most part, you do not want to fire a live round through the spigot.
Oopsie.
When there's something on top of the spigot. This reminds me actually of they were called, I don't know what the official designation was, but apparently there were knee mortars that the Japanese used. Yeah. So it had this curved shape. So it was like a curved piece of metal with a stick poking out of the top of it. And then there was a big mortar, or not a big, actually a small mortar tube on top of it. And you could put mortars in it. And because the way that the metal was curved, people thought that it was meant to be fired from the thigh. Now that there's a lot of recoil there. So, but it was a like one dude could carry a rifle, ammunition for his rifle, a mortar, some mortar shells, and just randomly plop down, put the mortar down, drop the shell, and fire mortars. They were, I guess, more short distance. I'm not really sure, but again, it's indirect fire instead of putting somebody in your sights and pulling the trigger.
Mm-hmm.
And you everybody technically could have a mortar,
and
it's the same concept.
Yep. So I pulled up a picture of an M70 AB2, and here on the end you can see the spigot's a good 6 inches long. Does that look like 6 inches?
That's at least 2 feet, man.
Oh, it's huge. But this is a dummy rifle grenade. But that is the dummy rifle grenade of the anti-tank grenade they came up with. Now, this is in the 60s and 70s. Actually, I'm not sure what date that is. You know, if you launch that at an Abrams, it's not going to do much. You launch that at a T-64, it could cause a little bit of a problem. But it's enough of a problem to be at least some level of a threat to a tank.
And if you launch it at a bunch of dudes standing around in the middle of the fucking woods or a field.
Indeed. But no, and you don't fire them from the shoulder. These days, most of the blanks that you can get for 7.62 by 39 they don't have the same powder charge as those dedicated grenade launching blanks. But you're supposed to launch it from the ground. You put the butt stock on the ground, you line up your sights, you use the rear notches. I was watching a YouTuber who was not aiming them correctly. It was actually driving me a little bit crazy. There's notches on the grenade sight. You line that up with the tip of the grenade, not with your front sight. It doesn't even make sense to line it up with the front sight, but you line it up with the tip of the grenade and you launch them from the ground because, you know, thanks to Mr. Isaac Newton, if you launch it from your shoulder, you might fuck yourself up.
Yeah. And of course, soldiers are always going to do things the right way.
Indeed. But that is also why the Yugo pattern AKs. We don't have time to do all this tonight, but that's fine. But that's
scary guy.
He has dummy.
I have seen his dummy on video. His nice dummy.
Does he use his dummy on himself?
I don't want to know. I'm reading Dungeon Crawler Carl right now, and there's a self dummy. Yes, well, like not right this second, but I can't read anything right now. But yeah, it's wild. Anyway,
I would imagine it's the difference between firing a 12 gauge from your shoulder versus firing a 12 gauge from the hip. You can do both, but just magnify it by 10 or so.
But to just round this out real quick, since we're on the topic of rifle grenades so hard right now, that is why the Yugoslavian pattern AKs, though, are built on, at least they made their way, well, they started off milled, which is the strongest way you can build an AK is milled. But when they went to stampings, they stuck with the 1.5 millimeter thick stamp, which is the RPK thickness, and then they stuck with the bulged RPK style of trunnion to strengthen the rifles for launching rifle grenades. They did experiment a little bit, I believe, with the AB1. So an Yugoslavian military Zastava's not crap, but
we can get into this another night too, though.
We'll get into that another night. But yeah, that's why they beefed up that's why their rifles are heavier. They have a 1.5 millimeter thick receiver. They have the bulged trunnion on it because they intended to sling rifle grenades out of them and they didn't want the guns blowing up. And it's also why they have the little push button on the dust cover, because they built in basically just a little catch so that you didn't pop off your rifle grenade. And apparently they had issues with the dust covers flying off when they did it too.
You mean the Yugos cared more about their soldiers than the Russians? Wow. I
don't know about caring more so much as, well, whatever.
GatLab, we would absolutely let him cook more, except that he has another place he has to be.
We should change that someday.
We talked about this months ago. I told you we should pick a different night.
Oh, that's the other thing they did to this fucking gun too. Well, they didn't do it but it includes, now they are long since dead because I believe the originals were just painted with radium, but even if they were tritium, like the half-life of tritium is what, 12 and a half years, and this gun's 33 years old.
Yeah,
the sights are at least that old. They did put the night sights on it.
That's cool.
So the rear sights on Yugos have just a little flip up, flip down. It just goes right behind the rear sight. And then the front sights, again, just a little flip up. It's built into the sight base. Boop.
Nice.
Again, if you're talking about doing partisan shit, you might have to do a little more fighting at night. So so my first ever AK was an OPAP. So that's a Zastava pattern. And I was like, oh, sweet. I bought it because the gal at the store read Firearm Blog and then parroted "It's the Cadillac of AKs" to me, and being an idiot who knew nothing in 2013 went, well, I have a choice between a Wasser and a Zastava, and they're the same price, and she says this one's the Cadillac of AKs, so all right, fine. I think a lot of my decision came down to the fact that the receiver has the dimples for the mag, which I thought looked cooler, but
it's just the weirdest, which very much fits you.
It's not just the weirdest, but yeah, the Yugo pattern rifles might be some of my favorite, might be my favorite family of AKs.
I like Yugo
because there's a lot of really goofy history to them as well, where because of Tito and Stalin having their little breakup in 1948, the Yugoslavians didn't get the data. So they're not a licensed copy. They're not a licensed Kalashnikov.
No.
Two freaking Albanians crossed the border and said, hey, you want our guns? They defected and crossed the border, and the Yugoslavians went, shit, cool. And then they started working from there. And then they bought a couple thousand more from some randos in fucking Africa and then reversed engineer them and decided, these guns are sweet. There's some different things we'd like to do to them. They didn't just freaking rubber stamp it and go, it's a direct clone. The Chinese didn't either, technically.
Hot take. You can fight me over this. I think Yugo guns are in a lot of ways, for most patterns, superior to the actual typical com block rubber stamped guns. Like the Yugo M57 Tokarev.
Yeah, it's an improved
I would take that hands down over a actual Russian Tokarev if I'm actually going to have to use it for something.
I'm not going to argue too much on that one.
No.
Extra round, bigger grip.
I think once you get to the 100s, so the Yugoslavians never made the jump into 545. They did with the M21 start experimenting with 556, which you can get the M90P in, which is a purely civilian rifle. They never imported an M21 for some reason, which is a shame, because I think when you get to the 100 series, so especially like the 10, like the carbine 100 series, so the 102, the 102, the 104, and the 105.
Well, by that time, wasn't Yugoslavia not even a country anymore?
I mean, around that time, Yugoslavia was busy butchering each other. So they were a little busy. I think once you get to those guns, like I have the 101. I love my 101. Those 10, like that 105 size of rifle with 12.5 inch barrel, considering that's what those kind of shorter length barrels are all the hotness right now. Might just be just about perfect. But anyway, that's another story for another time. Oh, I love this gun.
He's very
That's the most excited. This is the most excited I've been getting a new gun in a while. Like just to be punched in the face with the smell of Cosmoline.
I'm glad that's not me. I do not like Cosmoline.
I don't like it sticking to everything, but or if it's like there's so much of it that it's just overpowering Cosmoline odor. But when there's just a little bit of it, it's just like
you're like,
it's like Big Mike, our buddy who built that that Circle 11 parts kit. That gun just has the perfect amount of Cosmoline still oozing out of all its pores.
My favorite thing, because I've gotten a bunch of surplus guns in the past. You take a surplus commie gun, especially, you take it to the range on a hot summer day and you shoot it. You shoot it and you heat it up real good. And once it gets hot and all that Cosmoline is just pouring out of the wood and melting off of all the metal pieces, you wipe it off as you're shooting because it's obviously greasy and getting in the way. Once you take it home, that's the perfect amount of Cosmoline that should stay on that gun forever.
You'll never get rid of all of it. It's like blood. Like, just when you think you're done with it, you find more.
Gross.
Anyway, I think that'll about wrap us up for tonight. But nah, that's just. And this gun, because it was bought the same day that my daughter was born, I was hoping. So some of the rifles they sent out had a little bit of trench art on the handguards. Mine did not. They are mismatched, which is kind of neat. But I might see about doing my own trench art on it for her, because when that girl hits 18, well, actually it'll be before 18, but I'll be like, here you go. I bought this 30 minutes before you were born. What I was
now that gun, you are contractually obligated to just make that her first gun ever.
Pretty much. It's like, well, shouldn't you have been giving mom like emotional support? Like, I guess, but I was shopping for guns, lady.
So it's super, super America that your daughter was born on America Day.
This is why I said liberty earlier.
I bought her a commie gun.
Hell yes. My slightly related, my cousins, brother and sister cousins, were both born on July 4th as well, 3 years apart.
Sweet. There's a lot of cosmoline in this mag. I just smelled it. That's a bit of a mistake.
No, it's not.
I like it.
If you just put ammo in it and don't smell it, then you don't know there, and then it's not a problem.
It's a feature, not a bug.
It's like smelling salts. Anyway,
I don't want to smell those salts, please.
Anyway,
do it, children.
What about reviews and websites and things?
I ain't got none.
Oh,
but I will say, what I will say is I have emailed a sticker company today about getting the stickers made. So leave us a review. If you leave us a review, and then you can send us an email at, let me make sure I say the right fucking email real quick. This has been a mistake I've made in the past.
This is also why I told you shouldn't be the only one to be able to log into all of the things.
Well, you log into StreamYard all the time.
Yeah, but just StreamYard. I don't have anything else.
AK-47 radio show at gmail.com. Or, frankly, join our Discord, which would be easier. If you leave us a review, you join our Discord. Links will be at links are at ak47radio.net. You can tell us you left us a review there. And
Discord will be bussin'.
When I have the stickers, I will send you stickers. And you can go propagandize your entire town with stickers.
Please do.
You can be one of those guys that puts them at the Jimmy John's window. Just slap. Just right on the guy's face, not the window even. He leans out to hand you your sandwich. You lean over and go, here you go, buddy.
What's AK radio sticker say to the face? Slap, bitch.
Something like that. Anyway, I think that'll do us for tonight. Did you all have fun? I had fun.
I did have fun. I talked too much, but I had fun.
Oh,
I don't think I talked enough, but it's fine. I had input.
This rifle's my favorite. I will sleep with it tonight. It's gonna have
sleep with your wife instead.
It's gonna have stories to tell in the morning.
Go get some training. A dead Wolverine is a shitty Wolverine.
A dead partisan is a shitty partisan. So don't get dead. That'll do it.
I was just gonna say his wife just had a baby. He needs somewhere to.
Thanks for listening. We don't, as the Gat Lab says, good night, spaggots. Oh, I need to write that in the show notes right at the bottom. Good night, spaggots.
I like that.
So do I.
That's our sign-off line. Good night, spaggots.
We should get a spaggots patch made.
Fucking shell shock AKM. Literally, the show's ending. AK equals best platform ever invented. Thanks for signing on right as we're signing off. Join Discord. Say hello. We will not touch you in strange areas. Good night.
Bon noite.